I'm Joe Rapari, and this is Tab, the Truth Always Boomer. It's time again for another episode of Casual Fridays, so let's pull the tab on that and see what happens. It's always fun to just sit back and watch the goofballs at the gym. Have any of you guys seen this new Netflix movie yet? It's called In the Shadow of the Moon, and I found it to be excellent. Real quickly, and I won't give away anything, it's about a detective, or first of all, he's a cop on the beat, and he comes or gets involved with investigating a serial killer, and then he becomes a detective, and he investigates this serial killer for basically his whole career as a cop and a detective for 36 years. But it's not your typical serial killer movie. It has a lot of twists and turns and a really surprise ending. So it's really, really good. You guys should check it out. I give it 5 stars, man. It was excellent. Just a short public service announcement from Tab. Get your flu shot. Just stay calm and get your flu shot. I have a little story about how I started getting my flu shots. So one day I went to the doctor and she asked if I wanted a flu shot. And she said, yeah, you should get a flu shot. Everybody should get a flu shot. And I said, oh, really? Did you get your flu shot? She goes, not yet. And I said, well, if you get a flu shot now, I'll get a flu shot now and I'll start getting flu shots. Well, 2 minutes later, she came back in the office with 2 flu shots. She gave herself one and then gave me one. And I've been getting flu shots ever since. I recommend them, and I think they work. Let's check out some more double Ds, shall we? It's time for the double Ds. Yep, Democrat dishonesty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for this bit of Democrat dishonesty, we're going to look at a portion of the Ukrainian telephone conversation with President Trump. On the right, you have the actual transcript, the real transcript, and here on the right, you have the made-up version of what the New York Times says the transcript is supposed to be saying. So look at this nonsense. Let's read, shall we? I will ask him to call you along with the Attorney General. Rudy very much knows what's happening, and he's a very capable guy. If you could speak to him, that would be great. Now, here's what the New York Times says that means. Mr. Trump is pushing Mr. Zelensky to deal directly with Mr. Giuliani, his personal lawyer and close ally. Mr. Giuliani has repeatedly pushed conspiracy theories about the Bidens and encouraged the Ukraine government to ramp up investigations into them. Where does it say that? Where is the president pushing Mr. Zelensky? It says, he's saying Rudy is a very capable guy. If you could speak with him, that would be great. If you could speak to him, that would be great. Does that sound like anybody pushing anybody? Of course not. New York Times, you're full of shit. Then the other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution, so if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me. And then the New York Times, here Mr. Trump pushes the Ukrainian president to get his country's prosecutor to open an investigation into former Vice President Joseph Biden and his son Hunter. Where does it say that? It says, want to find out about that, so whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. So whatever you could do with the Attorney General would be great. Does that sound like the president's pushing him? No, he's asking him to talk to the Attorney General. Big deal. That's what any normal person would do. And any abnormal person or any crazy person or any person out of their mind or a psychopath would think like the New York Times, that the president was pushing the Ukrainian president. He's not pushing anybody, you nitwits. And then this last one. Since we have won the absolute majority in our parliament, the next prosecutor general will be 100% my person, my candidate, who will be approved by the parliament and will start as a new prosecutor in September. He or she will look into the situation, specifically to the company that you mentioned in this issue. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually the issue of making sure to restore the honesty. So we will take care of that and we'll work on the investigation of the case. On top of that, I would kindly ask if you have any additional information, you can provide it to us. It would be very helpful for the investigation. Now here's the New York Slime's take on it. Mr. Zelensky promises to do what Trump is asking, launch an investigation into the Bidens, but also asks Mr. Trump if he can provide any information for the Ukrainian investigators to look at. What's wrong with that? And where is Mr. Zelensky promising to do what Trump is asking? Launch an investigation into the Bidens. He's not launching an investigation into the Bidens. He's launching an investigation into the company. Because the company was not honest. He wants to restore the honesty. That's all he's doing. And he's asking the president, if you've got anything that could help us restore our honesty, that would be great. He's not asking the president to launch an investigation. Where does it say that? It doesn't say that anywhere. Now, I want you to all keep this in mind, and I want you to look and see if you can find the word dig up dirt on the Bidens or dig up dirt on Joe Biden. Can you see the word dig, the word up, the word dirt, the word on Joe Biden? Where is Joe Biden mentioned? About Biden's son. Biden stopped the prosecution. I don't see the word Joe Biden. I don't see the word dig. I don't see the word up. I don't see the word dig up dirt. I don't see that anywhere in here. Keep that in mind as we move on, okay? Dig up dirt or ask for dirt. Just keep that in mind. Now here's where the dishonesty starts. Get a load of this. This is hilarious.
It's just so much information.
Okay, Ainsley, you might want to push record because there are a lot of moving parts to this. Okay, here we go. All right. If you want to connect the dots of the abuse of power at the heart of the Trump administration, it's very complicated. Trump asked for dirt on Biden from the Ukraine.
I am an idiot.
No, the interesting thing to me is the ways in which the administration is trying to throw chaff up in the air around the story. Because as I said before, it is so simple. He called Ukraine and said, hey, can you dig up some dirt, if you want those Javelin missiles. Totally simple.
I am an idiot.
Democrat dishonesty.
This phony whistleblower is giving hearsay evidence. He says, I'm not a direct witness. Okay, useless, pal. You're not a direct witness. Goodbye. I have what's called an affidavit here. This is not what the whistleblower did. This is under oath. It's signed under penalties of perjury by Victor Shokin. Victor Shokin has told me he's more than willing to come to America and testify before Congress and point the finger at Joe Biden and his son and basically support what the president said today. They're corrupt as sin. This is so obvious. It's like the nose on your face, Sean. The Ukrainian oligarch Zlochevsky didn't pay millions for Hunter Biden's non-existent skill. He paid millions to buy the vice president's office, and it was a good deal for Zlochevsky. He got Hunter Biden off the hook. He got Soros's company out of jeopardy, and he got to come back to the Ukraine and keep his $5 billion just for merely giving up maybe $100 million. He is actually going around Ukraine saying it was well worth it to spend the money to do it. If anybody would care to investigate, they could find everything I just said.
I am an idiot.
Democrat dishonesty.
Let's look at some rad photos from my awesome photo archives, shall we? Yep, ladies and gentlemen, that's me way up there on the Great Wall of China. It was pretty easy getting up there, but coming down on those narrow, steep steps was a little bit scary, I gotta tell you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at some news in brief, shall we? A new study shows that a 20-minute walk outdoors in the morning leads to more energy and vitality than a walk inside. A morning walk improves clarity, energy levels, and muscle mass. Climate. Dozens of failed climate predictions stretch 80 years back. Apocalyptic climate and environmental catastrophes of global proportions have been decimating the world many times over in recent decades, at least based on dozens of predictions made by various scientists, experts, and officials over the past 80 years, none of which have come true. Zero. About 46,000 GM workers are still on strike. It's been 19 days now. Looks like they need to get their shit together and bring this thing to a close. From earlier in September, country singer Kylie Ray Harris was driving at 102 miles per hour when she crashed into a vehicle driven by a 16-year-old girl, killing both drivers. Quite a tragedy there. I'm here to say, hell no you're not. Lauren Boebert told Democratic presidential candidate Robert Francis O'Dork in response to his vow to ban AR-15s and AK-47s at a town hall in Colorado on September 19th. Way to go, Lauren. Sanctuary policies denounced after string of rapes in Montgomery County. A recent rash of alleged rapes in Maryland's Montgomery County is magnifying the tension between sanctuary policies and immigration enforcement. And last and certainly least, MSNBC's Chuck Todd, who is a lying, unprincipled scumbag, sounds the alarm on Trump. The national nightmare is upon us. MSNBC anchor Chuck Todd, who is an unprincipled, lying scumbag, kicked off his show on Thursday with a grim forecast of the Trump presidency, declaring the national nightmare is upon us. I will not say this lightly. But let's be frank, the national nightmare is upon us. Chuck told viewers in his monologue, the basic rules of our democracy are under attack from this president. So says the lying, unprincipled scumbag, Chuck Todd. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It's time for the Golden Toilet Award for Loser of the Week. And who is this week's recipient of the Golden Toilet Award? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Skeletor Pelosi. And let's check out a few reasons why.
What would be the proper adjective? Shameful? Sad? Irresponsible? Of the President of the United States and the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee to take the actions that they have?
Well, I can think of patriotic, badass, and awesome. And that you're a lying, unprincipled bitch.
They're just plain afraid.
I don't think so. I think they're just confident because the truth will set them free.
They're afraid of the truth.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
They're afraid of competence. They're afraid of a leader who is recognized in our country for being calm, professional, patriotic.
If you're lying to me, I'll be back.
I'm so proud of the work of Chairman Adam Schiff.
She's proud of Adam Schiff. Anyone who's proud of Adam Schiff needs to have a psychiatric evaluation. Adam Schiff is a lying scumbag snake, an unprincipled asshole.
So what is the president afraid of? Is he afraid of the truth? That he would go after a member, a chairman of a committee, a respected chairman of a committee in the Congress?
It's political bullshit.
No, it's like I just said. He's a lying, unprincipled scumbag. And he's basically an asshole. And no, he's not respected by anyone there, Ms. Pelosi. Well, there are two things we know for sure, Ms. Pelosi. Adam Schiff is not patriotic, and you are a lying, unprincipled, conniving bitch. And that's why you're this week's recipient of the Golden Toilet Award for Loser of the Week. And here it is, Ms. Pelosi, the coveted Golden Toilet Award for Loser of the Week. It couldn't go to a nicer individual, so put it with the rest of your awards, but this, of course, will be the most coveted, so enjoy. And remember, Medicare for All is a scam, and don't let the Democrats take our Medicare away. Vote Trump 2020. Well, that's it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. So, that's it for now. More news later. Take care, and as always, be safe.